renewable energy. What is disappointing is the pace at which we are moving to implement that. As you can see, the current situation is not good for development. Everybody from an individual like yourself and mine to industry, at some point we are stagnant wherever we have to use technology to perform what we have to. So that is not good for the country.
Right.
It's high time that we up our act and implement programs so that we get where we should to support socio-economic activities in this country.
There's setups like yours, for which you're chairperson, and coming to prominence in a time like this. What's the problem? Is somebody, are you suppressed? What is the issue? Is this, why are we silent when things are okay?
Well, first of all, in my opinion, it's high time we looked at both foreign and local solutions.
Right.
There are local solutions actually that could have helped and that can help to alleviate the situation. And we've been on this for quite some time now. But we seem not to pay much attention on local solutions.
Meaning somebody somewhere has been ignoring these alternatives? What are you trying to say?
I think it could be structural and historical.
Mm-hmm.
Take, for instance, ZEA. If you look at the activities of ZEA, how much energy do they put in propping up local solutions? Or even, for instance, IDC, how much do they probe local solutions so that they invest in those solutions? So it's historical, it's structural, but it's high time we revise how we approach, efforts and ideas that go into development.
I get a sense you don't think that those two entities you've mentioned pay a lot of attention to local solutions.
I've just given those as an example. I think even in government, look, we've been with government on biofuels, for instance, since 2006. Where are we now? We still don't have a drop into the energy, mix. We're still struggling. There are areas that we need to attend to. In my opinion, the way to look at this is that we should be feeling threatened in many ways. Poverty is a threat. Joblessness is a threat. Underdevelopment is a threat. We have many of our students being graduated who are not finding employment. That's a threat.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't need to go to a situation where we start seeing untold things on the streets. We need to transform and convert our knowledge and ideas into workable solutions for the people.
Right.
That's what we need to do. And it's not just government alone, even us, private sector and individuals. We need to work collectively and get to solutions.
Let's look at what you may have a bias in as chairman of the Biofuels Association of Zambia. There's what you call the Biodigester.
Yes.
What's that?
Yeah. For the biodigester technology is an old technology. It's not new. You find that even in this country, there are organizations such as SNV that have been on this subject. And what my company, in partnership with a regional collaborator, Ichi Bioenergies of Tanzania, what we've done is actually to concentrate on portable biodigesters. Now, these are not ordinary biodigesters. We're calling them factories because they give you biogas. At the same time, they give you fertilizer. Now, if you look at these commodities, these are the prime basics for any human being. Even if you look at the war between Russia and Ukraine, it's these two commodities that are playing around with this energy and food security. So, and these happen to also be the issues. I'm sure you've been reading in the papers. What are the main issues here? It's energy, right? That's why I'm here. What's the issue? It's distribution of fertilizers that the farmers have complained about. This particular technology addresses both. And it does beyond that. What does it do? It decentralizes production of both. Whereas we depended on central systems, This one enables every Zambian to produce their own energy and fertilizer in the backyard, addressing both most important issues in society.
What materials are we talking about here?
All waste that we have today in the home, at markets, agricultural waste, and any digestible material is an input, is a feedstock to this biodigester. Now, the unique thing also is that it doesn't have a moving part. It doesn't have any electrical part. So you spend once, and the rest of the time, it works for you. It makes money for you.
Right.
Yes. And therefore, it also cleans up cities. It cleans up clogged rivers that today we are unable to use because they are clogged up. They are infested with weeds. These cannot be cleaned up by this unit.
Right.
Yes.
These technologies and innovations are some that you hear being produced by colleges and maybe now STEM schools, and they just end up at model stage. And one would like to think that this should be, be on some production line somewhere.
Yes.
Where's the problem?
Yes. This is exactly what I meant when I was talking about examples of ZDA and examples of IDC. And these are not the only institutions. I'm saying including ourselves. There's a term that is used mostly in Europe and elsewhere where you have development, advanced development. It's called productization. We need to invest and tune ourselves up in this terminology. Productization, it means all the way from idea to a product, a sellable product or usable product on the table. We need to go beyond just ideas, but convert these ideas to products and services that work for Zambians. And so we should be seeing ZDA, IDC, invest in the private sector, and even policies of government focusing on converting those ideas beyond models.
For this to be sustained, you need venture capital. And that's
yes and no.
okay.
Yes and no.
Right.
For instance, on our portable biodigester, we haven't gone for any funding at all, because it's a level of investment that anyone can afford, directly or indirectly. And this is exactly what we thought we should do. We were, by the way, invited by United Nations to present this in Maputo, where they invited 11 Southern African countries. And everybody thought this is very good. It's a very good tool that can help Africa go beyond mere political independence, but also attain economic independence. Because just think of it, that every villager, every household, be it in town or in rural area, has this unit that gives them food security and energy security. What we start seeing evils like deforestation going down, poverty that accelerates criminology, both rural and urban centers going down, because some of these things are being done because of poverty. Now, when you give every Zambian food and energy security, we are going to see a very different country from now. So this is a unit we thought we should deploy, one that every individual can invest.
Where's the yes part?
Sorry?
Where's the yes part to the need for venture capital?
The yes part for need for venture capital is where you have levels that you cannot, easily get money yourself, or groups of people coming together to get that kind of money. Or in fact, the current situation where we have in this country where banks have very high interest rates. We need special funds that address key economic sectors where, it's a do or die. You can't, look at this. You are in an aeroplane and you see gas gushing into the plane. There is no room for saying we shall stick to economic factors to solve this problem. All of you are going to die, you see. Even what we are seeing, again, going back to Russia and Ukraine, there is no thinking about what is expensive or cheap. There's only survival. That's where we should be looking at this country. There are certain areas where it's survival, and that's energy and food security. And so when we have those solutions that put food on the table, that strengthen the economic status of every Zambian, so that we go beyond political independence to economic independence, we should put in an effort to ensure this takes place, as of course we work to ensure those solutions are competitive.
It appears that nature is dictating its power. The world is going back to the basics of heating food, of heating water, and the tendency to relax when hydropower is in full effect and throw away what is, what is traditional, what is historical, seems to come back and back and back. How do you maintain this momentum, even if the hydropower was at full capacity? What conversations should be had? How do you achieve this?
Yeah, you see, we have a tendency to look at the reaction of people that are in the high bracket, of economy. You see, when I'm in town and I can read and I can drive, I complain about the road, and the attention is given to what I say rather than what the ordinary person there is saying. And I've seen that it's not just for us, but it appears to be the same almost everywhere. I saw during elections in the US where Elon Musk tweets and said, "Don't vote for Democrats," and your followers, you see. But where people react to the stomach and the things that matter, they know how to vote, right? You see. Now we need to reach a level where people know how to vote, and not, when you appear just at election time, you come with a Coca-Cola and I feel, this is something that I've never had for 5 years. So let me vote for Bwana Tembo. You see, what we need to, if we want to maintain this tempo, let's look at the economically least person in society. Is what we are doing now working for that person, not what is working for me. Right. Because it's true what you're saying. You see, if I'm eating and drinking and driving and doing what I want, what does it matter? Because I can afford. Right. But that person down there, whom we need as part of this country, how is their welfare? That should be the reference for what we do in terms of price, in terms of what works, in terms of how we maintain the tempo and so on. Those are the things we should be looking at. Right. And this was our approach to looking at this portable Biodigester factory. Right. That gives these two key things to a human being.
Let's talk about making the energy sector attractive by having the public pay cost-reflective tariffs, for example. And in some quarters, this is a bit of a scary area to go to. As a final thought, what should ease this particular decision? What makes it a comfortable decision to make in consideration of alternatives that can be present?
You see, there's something that people always forget. You see, we have two levels in this country regarding the energy issue. We have those with money, they can afford, but there's no power. Like when you have a load shed, what do you do? Unless you invest in generator and things like that. That's one. Two, there are those who are connected but don't have money. They can't afford. Once you don't have money, you simply don't have it. It doesn't matter whether you lower or increase, tariff. You simply don't have it. You see, then there are those that are neither connected nor have access. You see? No, sorry, neither connected nor can afford. You see? And then you have those that can afford but are not connected. These are the four levels we have. The key thing, and I want to go back to the Biodigester, the key thing is to ensure that we have three things fulfilled. What is that? Accessibility means people access energy. Availability, it means energy is available. And affordability. These three. And that's what this Biodigester technology we've done is doing. Why? Because you invest once and it makes money for you. How does it make money for you? First of all, you have biogas that is coming every day with no further investment. So you have energy for cooking. You see, yeah, you've gone elsewhere, it's doing its job back home.
Right.
You see, two, it's producing fertilizer for you every day. Again, you can do what you want or even have extra job. You come home, you find these two things every day.
Right.
And you have excess fertilizer which you sell. You can also use this fertilizer to grow your economy because you can, for instance, grow watermelons, green maize, and other crops. So the key here is that we invest in technologies which involve people in the production value chain so that they earn money and be able to afford. So merely having power when people don't have money to pay for it, it's like giving you a car, my friend. I give you, what is the car that you like to drive?
I'll keep it a secret, but it's a big car.
Yeah, and then there's no fuel. What is it for? It's just a decoration.
Right, right.
Yeah, so the fuel is ability for people to pay, to afford. That's the fuel in this economy, no matter what technologies we try to bring here. So, yes.
I wish you the very best.
Thank
I hope
you
that
very
you can have this meeting of the mind
Yeah.
to find
yeah.
this solution
Yes, thank you.
to these challenges. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Professor Thomas Sinkala, Energy Consultant.